Okay guys, today I'm going to be showing you the easy texture creator, right? That's a tool that I have created for Blender to help you with text. Okay, I'm using Linux Mint, by the way, since 2025, not Windows anymore. So far so good. Okay, let's go to Blender. For you guys that doesn't know, Blender got way easier to install add-ons. Okay, you now don't need to go inside your properties. You just drag your add-on, bam, drag and drop. Okay, let's hide this guy. And now what happened? If you press Shift A to add something, you have easy generators, easy text to create. Okay, hello world. Also, if you press right mouse button, oh, let me add the screencast so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so if you right click as well, you also can add by right click mouse button hello world. Okay, so it's good to go to your easy text creator and set up your folder for your fonts, save, because Blender will load the fonts by here. Okay, you go here, that's what your type, your words. Okay, let's leave it just hello for now. And you have four ways of adding or of changing your fonts. The first way is down here, it's up here. You can go live font preview, arrows up and arrow down, and then you see your text change in real time. Okay, this is one way. The other way is pressing Alt, Control Alt F, and then you will choose by rolling your mouse button. Okay, and choose your font. The third way is by clicking here and then choose the font manually here. As soon as you click, it will be updated here. And the other way is the traditional way. Open here, choose the font, open font. Me, particularly, I like Ctrl Alt F, and then with my mouse here, I roll over and I choose whatever font that I want. Okay, for this case, this font is not very good. Let's choose another one. Let's leave it Arial, maybe Arial Bold. Okay, this one sounds good. Okay, so let's close this. Now we have round corners, so we can round the corners of our text if that's the case that we want. Geometry, no geometry. If you have geometry, you have your base, which is the base geometry, and you have your profile. Okay, so you have your base geometry. Inside your base geometry, you can see that you have triangles or n-gons mode. Let's go to with n-gons mode for now. Okay, so you have your offset. What's the offset? Is basically it's offsetting your texture. But don't go crazy. You see in the corners, you may find some issues. Don't go crazy. Okay, so you have your offset, you have your extrude. Extrude is very self-explanatory. You go up and down, offset, and then your extrude goes up and down. But then you have a second extrude, which is this one, inset. Okay, let me go here and show you this bigger. Okay, then you have your inset depth. If you press here inset depth, you see you basically create another extrude, and then your inset offset. Then you can create some kind of fancy, pooky, bivalent texture. Let's say that. Okay, something like this. Uh, okay, but for now, let's keep it like that for the purpose of this tutorial. Now you have your profile. Your profile, you have this basic profile, which you see it's happening some issues here because of the thickness, right? You are offsetting too much. Okay, if you still want to offset too much and that's not work for you this way, you can go all the way in negative depending on your font. That really depends on how your font is made and how your font is distributed. You may have some issues with this here and then there, and then you have a way of fixing this, which is kind of going negative and so on. Okay, there is an issue that I'm going to show you, but it's in material ahead that you can fix using a setting here in base. Okay, so and then you have this, you have your circular as well, you have resolution of a circle and also the radius. Okay, and you also have a custom profile which allows you to add a custom profile. It's not something that people does that much with fonts, but it's something that it's useful maybe depending on what you want. I like to create a profile using a single vertex because I can go extruding it, right? Doing something like this. Let's create a very basic profile for now. This is my profile, okay? Let's leave it something like this, right? And then I go and pick up the profile, and I have now my profile here, right? So maybe it's not the direction that I want, then I can tilt it, okay? Maybe tilt it 90 degrees, and maybe that's the profile that you want, okay? Maybe it's not, maybe it's 180 degrees, but maybe it's outside. Actually, I wanted the profile outside. That was my first idea. So let's go to my profile and choose it, selected it, Control M to just invert, right, the direction of the profile. And now let's make sure that we have this outside. So there we go. That's our profile. Let's keep it like this for now. So let's go bring it the base back. Now that's our text, right? Let's rotate that. In transform you can translate and rotate. Let's rotate that to 90 degrees. So our text is here 90 degrees, right? And let's work with material. Spacing is the same as you have for any other text you have in Blender, like before, like hello world, amazing people. See? Then you can go here and space the characters, right? And spacing the words, and also line spacing. Line spacing is if you are using text box and you want to have paragraph, so you have to extend it here somehow until you get the paragraphs the way you want, and then you can line it up here. Okay, that's more or less all the settings here. The alignment, left, middle, center, justified, basic line, bottom. You guys know the drill. Okay, so right now let's go to what is also different here, which is the materials, right? Right now I have two different materials. So it's all here in base. You turn it on basics, and then you have your color, metallic, roughness, bump, subsurface, and dirty. Okay, I'm gonna show you dirty. Dirty is a noise way of dirty the material, right? You can dirty your material. It's terrible now, but you can, of course, detail it. Put 5, lagunarity, put maybe 5, and then you will start to get some more specific detail on your object, right? You see how is your noise now? And as much as you go changing here, that's what you're getting, okay? Just like a noise texture, okay? Let's keep it with something like that. But let's not noise that much. Let's not dirty that much. Just maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Let me, other thing, just move my sun more or less on the direction that I can see the shadows better. Okay, let's do something like this and move the sun to until we reach points that we can see better. Okay, but something like this. Okay, that works. That works better. All right, folks. So then we can add a bump. A bump is also based on the noise. You can add your bump here, and then you start to see immediately your bump going on. And it's always based, it is all based on the noise. You can change the noise, you can change your bump, right? You can change the color, the material, right? The metallic feeling of your material. You can also use the noise as a reference for the metallic as well, right? So if you start to add this guy, it starts to take the noise and having it in consideration by calculating the roughness. Okay, and then you start to have some material rough with bump and so on, right? So you also have your width if you want to accelerate your bump, and you also have a bevel in the material, which is nice to fake bevel on the edge, right? If you start to slide this down, you see that the shader starts to fake that it's all blending and is creating those nice highlights on your text. You can see here you have nice highlights at the border of your text. Okay, but you may want different colors on your profile and also on your base, right? So then you can choose. I'm not going to be using unique material. I'm going to be using a material for my profile as well. And then you can go to your profile. You have the same options here, right? And you can choose any color you want, right? You can pick up a different approach for this material, right? You can also add maybe some, you can add your noise, but I'm not gonna add a noise now. You can add some bevel just to get the feeling, that feeling of the highlights on your model, and voila. Now you have your model here, okay? And then you may think, okay, what about another totally different style you can do easy? You can copy this guy, or even if you want to have another style, you can take this guy, and this guy is totally independent, right, from the previous one. You can choose not having metallic at all, or you can choose not having a bump at all, right? You can even change the profile, and I don't want this custom profile shape. I want a circular profile, something like this, right? And I will also have my bump showing that I have, oh, you know what? Let's make a round corner on this guy and having something like this, right? Maybe not as much as this. Something like this, right? Maybe let's exaggerate a little bit the profile, not getting too crazy. Otherwise, you will start to see the weirdness happening in the corners. Okay, it's something like this. And you may think, okay, this guy, I want to have in the material a subsurface. Okay, subsurface. You go to your profile, subsurface, and then you turn it on. Now suddenly you have subsurface, but it's too much scale. I want less scale, or something like this, right? Then you start to see your subsurface, and you can choose the color of your subsurface right here. It's basically blending this guy with the other color right here. Subsurface is happening. You may want to have less subsurface. Okay. No, let's add some. Let's really put some subsurface here. Okay, something like this, maybe, just an option. Okay, and what about the basic material? Let's put some, maybe, oh no, that's still the profile material. Let's go to our basic material and maybe have some purple, and maybe add some subsurface as well. One. So now we have also subsurface going on here. Maybe one scale of subsurface, and let's go to roughness. Let's add this roughness as a 2, maybe, right? And then you have a different, completely different world, completely different style, right? Different style. You can maybe sky here, put it up, and in this one you may not want to have your profile, and you may want to have just the base with some inset, maybe some inset like this. Okay, something like that. And extrude more heavy, right? But this one, maybe you want to choose the material and put it darker, maybe. Let's see how it goes. You see how easy it is to add some look to your work? Yeah. So let me know, guys, if you like. That's the tool. This add-on is going to be available on my Patreon, on the link below. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't like, thumbs down. Comment whatever you think about it. I did that because I was in a need for that on my projects, and now I'm turning that into an add-on. Consider to subscribe my channel. Also consider to become a member on my Patreon. Then you will have access to these two for a basic membership, paid membership. But you also can become a free member, and then you can have access to all the tools that are there for free. And if you also want to go higher, you can get the special add-ons membership. Then you have access to everything for just $10 a month. Okay, so with that you guys help me to keep growing my add-ons, keep improving, keep adding more add-ons and more tools for our workflow, not just for Blender but also for Krita and sometimes Linux, sometimes DaVinci Resolve, so no, okay, but mostly Blender. I hope you guys like it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and take it easy. Bye bye.